First up, I want to go across to Fayyaz Ismail, who's the chairperson of the Maldivian opposition party, the MDP, joining us exclusively on Plain Speak. Fayyaz, thanks a lot for your time. We've seen some of these comments that have come not just from ordinary individuals, but members of the current ruling party and members of the government as well. And they've really shocked people in India because many would not have thought that there was, quote unquote, this hate or hateful mindset that some politicians or people could have had against Indians, given how much we interact. What do you make of this mindset, first of all, that has come out because of these comments?
Well, it was surprising to us as well, not only to you, and it was shocking to us as well. It was shocking to most of the Maldivians here. The reason for this is, the reason why this has happened is because over the last 4 or 5 years, the current government or the ruling party has utilized the close relationship with our government in India as a political tool. Basically to try to create an atmosphere where people's, Maldivians, especially their own base, where their former government was very much inclined towards a stronger relationship with China, whereas we are open to relationship with all countries, but we have always had a India first policy. It's not only about India, it's because we believe as part of the Indian Ocean region, the stability and security of the Indian Ocean region is paramount for the security of the Maldives as well.
Okay.
And also, aside from that, the strong cultural affinities that we have. So this was very surprising to us. But what has led to this is the use by the current government and the ruling party, the issue of India out campaign, where there was no issue. The continuous use of this has created this kind of narrative amongst certain people in the Maldives, which is not the reflective of the Maldivian people.
Okay, but you know, Fayyaz, as it usually happens these days when such controversies break out, not just your current tweets, but your old tweets or statements also start coming out. And that was the case here as well. And the tone and tenor of some of those comments from some of those who were part of the government today was blatantly anti-Hindu. It was very religiously derogatory, which also has shocked people. So, you know, I don't want to skirt around that issue. Is this the reality, that there is this anti-India, anti-Hindu sentiment in the Muslim majority nation of Maldives? Is that the ugly reality?
I tend to disagree with that. Of course, there are people with those kind of attitudes. You see, in India, we see some people from the Hindu community being very derogatory about Muslims as well. But that is not reflective of India, or that is not reflective of us as Maldivians. But the different thing that I personally believe is the advent of the social media.
Sure.
Anybody, anywhere can say anything on social media, and there's no control over it. It will spread, and there's no control on who sees that. There's no retraction of it, etc. Any person in a manner of, you see, emotional stage also may say something, but that is out there. So obviously, people in the Maldives are concerned to a certain extent with some of the news coming out of India over the last couple of years, vis-a-vis some kind of situations within the Indian society with respect to some kind of disagreements with Muslims and Hindus. That is of concern to obviously Maldivians. I mean, that is understood. The same way that we are feeling the same kind of empathy with the Palestinian issue. So those kind of sentiments are there, but there's no anti-Hindu sentiment in the Maldives.
Okay.
In fact, we are avid watchers of Bollywood, your songs, your movies, and our culture has a lot of Indian culture in it. So, but these hate figures are there. And unfortunately, the people that you're talking about, the specific four people, these are vitriolic liars of the current government when they were in opposition. They are a very hate mongering sort of people individually. And I do not believe that they are also necessarily reflective of the current government itself.
Okay.
These are just out of control people who are not able to muzzle themselves, just trying to get more likes on their Twitter feeds, etc. So unfortunately, they didn't understand that the whole wild world is open these days, and people's sentiment will be hurt by unnecessary words like this. It's very, very unfortunate.
Okay. At the heart of this controversy is, of course, the tourism sector. The Maldivian economy relies on tourism heavily. The highest number of tourists from one single country come from India. Given what has transpired and obviously some of the officials playing a role in it, do you suspect this could hurt the Maldivian economy? The response from Indians seems to be that they want to prefer other locations now over the Maldives.
Let me say at the outset, I would love to visit the Lakshadweep.
Right.
I have always wanted to visit the place, and I would definitely try to make a stronger case of visiting the place.
Right.
And in fact, I see a lot of synergies where we could, in fact, together with Maldives and Lakshadweep, actually complement on both our tourism industries and reap huge benefits for both countries from this. Lakshadweep is not a direct threat to us. Healthy competition definitely is something that we are welcome to. And Prime Minister Modi visiting Lakshadweep and promoting that is fine. There's completely no issue in that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, to be very frank, there were some Indian Twitter artists who had portrayed that to reflect the current ongoing India Out campaign. That is also understandable from our part. Unfortunately, that also led to these fools, these clowns from the Maldives reacting to that in a very undiplomatic and unlogical, illogical, ridiculous manner. But what to do? This is social media, something which people cannot control, and this has created a completely unnecessary rift between the two nations. My concern is not the tourism industry. Definitely, yes. Indian tourists are a very important component of our tourism industry and thereby our wider economy.
Okay.
My concern is not the boycott of, or rather, I'm sure that this will pass away. I think there are more mature, sane voices among both countries and both governments who will ensure that this is put behind us quickly. But my concern is governments can catch up. But unfortunately, this has gone beyond the government, and the entire population is now being exposed to this. So that will be difficult for us to patch up. So that is more of my concern than any impact that we may have on our economy or our tourism industry.
Okay.
The stability of the Indian Ocean region relies on the smallest country in this region working in tandem with the biggest country in the region, and that has been affected, and that's something that we all need to ensure that we mend as quickly as possible. And I hope that our government will take strong action, prompt action to put this behind us.
Okay. I leave it on that note, Fayyaz Ismail. Thanks a lot for joining us. And I think I do appreciate your point. It need not be about bitter competition, but about healthy competition between these locations that are vying for tourists. Ultimately, it is a competition. I do thank you for joining us.